Yo, right here in the small box.
I'm heating up, I'm trying to burn down Toronto. Better keep 6 feet space, this 6-side shit contagious. Money coming in, all I see is numbers, like I'm in the Matrix. We've been in the trap.
I don't even understand why it just be going like that, but either way, it's cool. Salute, welcome back. We are here. We got another video. This is probably going to be the last one for today because I got working a little bit. I got to make sure that I am not late today, that I am on time. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, your boy be struggling with that sometimes. Anyway, my point is, look, this is going to be the last video. We're going to lock in fantastic hip-hop. Salute to Canada right here, no doubt. Let's go ahead and get started. But listen, y'all do know how I start this, right? So let's go ahead and start this. Let's go. Yo, you right here in the small box, right here in the small box. Welcome back to Flex Mob Reactions, only on the Flex Mob Network. I'm Flex. Welcome back to the channel. We got fantastic hip hop in front of us. We're going to be talking about the potential of Drake's entire album being leaked. Let's see what happens with this one. So listen, make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe. Let me know what you think about the video. Drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think about the reaction. My mind is racing right now because who would really do that? Hit that notification bell so you get notified when I drop my videos or when I'm live, like right now. And let's get to the bottom of this because what's going on?
Now, when it comes to Drake, well, now, if you are ready
What's good, VA? How you feeling?
to see how the Iceman's Iceman album is
Oh, LC, listen, we are definitely here for entertainment purposes only. Best believe. We are here to sit back, enjoy a video, and have some fun. Entertainment, right, guys?
melting, and this is all because a bunch of the album has leaked, and Drake really now does want to cancel it. Be sure to leave a like and subscribe. And now really, as Drake's Iceman album is currently getting leaked, and with this, we are seeing him have a meltdown over it, and he is really now about to ruin the entire thing. Leave all those likes because today is going to be a good one, as now with the Cupcake Karen himself, what we have found out, or at the very least what the narrative being framed to us is, well, is that in terms of what is being presented to us now, the new Drake snippet that dropped of the Iceman episode 2 beat, where we actually
What's good, baby love? How you feeling, baby girl?
heard Drake rapping, and he was dissing DeMar DeRozan and trying to act all tough with just some weird NBA bars that were really just more embarrassing than anything else when you really...
I'm going to tell y'all this right now. I'm not reacting to that DeMar DeRozan nonsense, because why you... Bro, it's one thing for you. Remember, keep in mind, don't forget, he's been dissing DeMar DeRozan since, like, what? Australia? Somebody threw him a jersey. He held up the jersey, threw it on the ground, and try to step over it as if you're Allen Iverson. You are not that guy. Let me tell you that right now. You are not that guy. I am not going to react to that moment. Oh, you're gonna have bars for DeMar DeRozan. That doesn't do anything for him. In fact, why are you on his dick? That's my question. Why are you worried about this dude and what he did in the past? Let it go, bruh. Let it go. I don't understand. It's as if, what did you pay for him to stay? Is that what we talking about? You put your money up to let him stay on the Raptors? Is that what you did? Because as far as I see it, bro, like you're crying about something that we really never even cared for, bro. Like yo, he left Toronto. You guys got a ring. Congratulations. It's not that deep. You making it something like it's some sort of world-ending event, bro. Like, yo, let it go. It's one thing for you to be on the stage and throw the man's jersey on the ground as if you inflicted damage on his spirit. He's probably laughing at what you did. And now with these little bars that you have for him, he's probably going to be laughing some more. So why are you focusing on a dude that doesn't even care about what you say? So I'm not going to be reacting to that nonsense because that's a great big waste of time for me. I'm sorry.
consider the stakes of it all? Well, listen, beyond the unshockingly bad song from Drake in 2025, with the release and optics of all of this, while it seemed like Drake was the one who dropped this and he was just trying to test the waters for the track before he got made fun of with another musical release yet again, well, now at the very least, what Drake wants us to think, and this will be important for later, is that in terms of what they are presenting to us, this could not be further from the case, because now what we have found out, and based on what we have seen from Drake calling Adinross and freaking out about it live on stream for everybody to hear, it really does seem bad, is that these songs in this album are leaking without Drake's actual input and idea, and it's actually happening, and this is not a gimmick. And now with this, first off for the cupcake, once again, all of those lyrics from Kendrick Lamar about him having leaks and moles in his own camp and not being able to keep anything close or within his own circle, I mean, they have just never looked more true, and you have never looked more lame, because once again, even with this album and Iceman, which is now the most important thing Drake will ever release to the future of his career and the actual impact and legacy that he will leave.
See, that's what makes me worried, bruh. What's good, Slay? How you doing? That's what makes me worried, man, if I'm going to be super honest. This is the most important album that you're dropping, and you're not taking it seriously, if I'm going to be super honest. There is nothing, nobody can tell me behind the scenes that's going to prove me and say otherwise. The way you are handling your own project is very questionable. And as somebody from Canada, Toronto, I'm worried as hell. I am so worried. I am so concerned because you're not putting in enough work on it, bruh. How you have a live stream and we barely see you? Make it make sense. And the times we do see you, it doesn't mean anything. You're in a lane that a lot of artists are not in, and you're not taking advantage of it. What you're taking advantage of is random scenery that we're supposed to care about. That doesn't make sense. There's literally zero substance. Don't even try to sit there and try to give me some deep meaning to the corner of the wall. Like, check this out. Check this out. Watch this. We on some Iceman time. Check it out. What does that mean? Tell me what that mean. Please tell me, what does that mean? We on some Iceman kind of time right now. Let me know about what that corner means to you. What does that mean to you? What do you feel when you look at the corner? What goes through your mind when you talking about it? Like, yo, let me know. Like, yo, oh look, there's the bottom or the top of the frame. There's the top of the frame. What does that mean with it being in the corner like that? Oh look, all of a sudden there's a hand. There's a hand on the wall. What does this mean? My guy, if you don't give us something that makes sense, what is the point of even tuning in for the live stream? There's no point. Bro, that's why I'm so concerned, bro, because I'm like, what are you doing? Every song you previewed is not charting. The best song that you had a good beat, and look what you did to it. Why are you still whining about something else, bruh? Please. It doesn't make sense. It makes zero sense as to why you are doing this. I'm concerned. I am very concerned. I am worried. Because if this is the best that we have here, what does that say about everybody else? I'm asking for a friend, and the friend is me. Like, if this is our best, what's going to happen with every other artist that's been sacrificing their time to try and make it work? Yo, bro, don't get me started, bro.
Leave. I mean, even his Karen Clown self could not keep this thing a secret and under the proper hands and wraps that it needed to be so that this didn't happen. And well, he has once again failed, which now, quick side note with this, what I do really wonder when you think about Kendrick Lamar's lyrics and everything he was saying in 616 in LA with there being a mole in OVO and somebody that was giving him information. Could this have been something that wasn't just true, but that really is still affecting Drake to this day? And is there really just people in Drake's circle that are actively trying to ruin him? But now where things do get weird beyond that
What's good, Plus? What's good, Jeff? I don't think I've ever seen y'all names in here before. Welcome to the Flex Mob, bro.
is when we see who ended up getting this album from whoever leaked it, which are these streamers who go by the name Bagwork and who have no big past or connection to Drake before this, and well, with even what they have been doing and the moment they just created by leaking songs from Iceman, not even really adinross knew who they were. I mean, with all of this is pretty weird, but now what these guys have been doing is just playing Drake music all weekend, and they are saying right now that they are gonna put out the whole album pretty soon, which is a big claim, and if I was Drake, I sure would be scrambling. But well, now from what they played so far, what we
Are those the kids that preview the Pressa track?
have heard are features and songs from Drake that do have features from Pressa on them, and then there are some Playboi Carti vocals that have been found, which is interesting to note, and I do wonder what's going on there. But well, now beyond the music, why we really do know that Drake is once again, at the very least, trying to convince us that he is mad that
Hey, Jeff, that's what's up, bro. Welcome to the Flex Mob, bro. You're here with some good people for real, man. Every single individual in here is a wonderful and outstanding individual. You're with the right people right now, bro. Salute to you for stopping by, bro.
Iceman is leaking, and that this is something that he did not plan. Which honestly, if it was any other artist, I don't think we would ever need to say this, but for who Drake is and for the type of gimmicky rollouts that he does.
Hey, Plus, bro, appreciate you for stopping by, no doubt. You're here, like I said, with some good people. Everybody in here is an outstanding individual. All right, so you with a good crowd. So salute to you and everybody else in here, bro. Flex Mob, Shadow Mob.
You can just never be surprised, but honestly, what really does show how frustrated Drake may be and what really may be going on is what happened after this DeMar DeRozan diss surfaced, which was a call that Drake had with adinross right on his stream for everybody to hear, and with this, I mean, wow, this thing was bad, as Drake really was going into full Cupcake Karen mode. He was just whining and at that whining bad as he ranted and just blurted out the phrase in both shock and anger that this was crazy, and he was saying that over and over again, and then he was asking Aiden who these streamers were and why they were doing this, and he was cursing up a storm within this rant.
Hey, love from South Africa, love from Canada, bro. This little stream right here, bro, this Canadian made, bro. You know what I'm saying? So love from Canada, bro. From me to you, real talk, man. Salute to you.
And honestly, when you hear Drake talk, he sounded so sad and emotional, and well, with this, even despite Aiden trying to cool the mood down and joke with Drake and ask him for the song, which, quick side note, I did think that was funny because Aiden was really being so unserious and Drake was just freaking out about this whole thing happening. I mean, with all of this, what we do know is that the Iceman was crying and whining on stream, and he is legitimately melting at the moment. And again, while Drake is a hard person to believe, and we know that he has done more shameful things for a rollout, listen, no matter where you stand, at the very least, we do have to say that Drake wants us to believe that this record is being leaked. Which, to be honest, for Drake, while I do believe that he did actually end up being clueless enough to end up getting these songs into the wrong hands at some point, and he did just find out about this and is livid. As a thinker and somebody who does know how he moves, I almost do wonder if his carelessness with sharing this around, which has to be the reason how these streamers got this song, ended up being the reason why this is all happening in the first place, because if it was not Drake and his own impulse or somebody in OVO who did this, how would they have possibly got this now? But really, what I do think with that said now is that despite Drake's own carelessness getting this released and him being mad about it, which I do think just based on the genuine reaction, it kind of does seem like we hear on the adinross stream that is a real thing and that was the reality so far. It does not mean that there isn't a play at hand, and maybe there is still an ulterior motive that we do not know about behind all of this. And now what I am saying is that currently, while Drake may be mad because of the shock and confusion, and maybe what else this may mean for him and OVO as a whole, is it also possible?
I'm sorry, and Josh, or sorry, not Josh, Josh, or sorry, yeah, Josh. No, there's no planning, because think about the storyline for Iceman. Episode 1, cool. Being in Toronto, that's great. Being in Toronto, because if I'm correct, episode 1 was in Toronto, if I'm correct, where he was driving around in the Iceman truck. And everybody was memeing, yo, we'll fold that up right now. Yo, don't run away now, pussy. Yo, so yes, that's in Toronto, if I'm correct. Now episode 2, all of a sudden we're in Europe, and then we see Pinocchio creeping behind a tree. And now all of a sudden, like in episode 3, you just randomly just walk into a club and they allow you with your backpack. I'm sorry, that's security. I'm taking your bag, bro. Like, you gonna get it on your way out. What? Or give it a coat check. Give your bag a coat check. Why are you? Okay, bro. There's so many. It doesn't make sense, is what I'm saying. It doesn't make sense. And it's as if it doesn't want to make sense. Don't even try. Like, I know there's some fans out there that are going to try and, like, piece it together. Oh, they're going to tell you, like, the underlying facts or, like, how everything is connected with him going to all these different places. Yo, let me tell you something right now. You can't just go from Toronto to friggin' England or Europe or wherever you at, and there's supposed to be some sort of significance towards it with the whole Iceman project. There is nothing you can tell me that's going to convince me to see it a different way. It doesn't make sense.
Possible that he could be happy, because with this story now getting bigger and with us now being on the verge of getting more and more moments from the Iceman album as a whole, all the way to the point where the entire thing may be ruined in just moments, well, ultimately, for a record that so far all of the singles that have released for it have bricked so bad, really everything has looked worse and worse with each episode and moment that has came in its rollout. And honestly, we are at a point now where Drake hasn't just made himself valued less ever, but really this thing does look like it's gonna go triple aluminum. Well, with all of this, I say all of that to say...
Whoa, triple what?
This thing does look like it's gonna go triple aluminum. Well...
I'm sorry, triple aluminum is crazy.
With all of this, I say all of that to say that when you look at the law-loving Ice Spice man, he now does have the perfect excuse to delay or scrap this album altogether, which is now that he can whine and just say and play victim to his fans while running away from everybody else, and of course, we will all know the actual trick.
I'm sorry, somebody explain this to me, please. Somebody please explain this to me. What is this, the industry right here? Is this the industry and the hierarchy of the industry? Huh? Is that what it's supposed to mean? All these different people in their formal wear or semi-formal wear or streetwear, are these supposed to represent certain individuals? Is this supposed to be some sort of certain representation of how screwed you are in the same deal that you signed for? Huh? You signed the paper, my guy. You signed it. So, especially you for being in the industry for such a long time, you signed the dotted line. So make it make sense to me as to why we are trying to double back and speak about some people that you probably shouldn't be speaking about. Why are you directing your album to all these people? It's like you're dissing a bunch of people that we don't know or don't care for. So what is this album really about? Because now you're what? You're dissing DeMar DeRozan still? Why? I'm just trying to understand the project, because as far as I see it, none of it makes sense. This matters when you're trying to sell something to the world from your brand. For what you branded yourself as, to do this? You're literally trying to cripple yourself, bro. You're trying to take both your ankles out at this point. You don't want to walk no more.
Fans while running away from everybody else, and of course, we will all know the actual trick, which is that he is scared, but with hiding behind this narrative that Iceman was leaked and the music was ruined, so now he has to go back.
UMG's casting couch is crazy.
To the drawing board and do it all over again. I mean, honestly, there could not be a better way for Drake to potentially dodge having to release a record that genuinely does look like it's not just going to be a bad record in terms of the quality and merit of it, but that it may just be his worst performing album ever. And so with the cupcake, while he is not necessarily in the worst situation, and this actually may have helped him out depending on how things go very soon, I mean really, Drake's gotta be the first rapper to actually benefit from a leak like this happening. But now what I will say, in the bigger sense and when it comes to all of this leaking and what's going on in Drake's circle, for Drake and the loser lifestyle that he so clearly loves to live because he does not ever want to grow up, and maybe this is where the obsession with Pinocchio comes from, I do personally think that being way too open and embarrassing about your moves and the music you are making, well, just like a lot of other things, like telling everybody that you ran away from your family to hang out at Magic City in a dock to try and make Magic City sound great and you look cool while you only looked like a worse person than ever and only further validate everything Kendrick Lamar has ever said even more. Well, I do think all of this has gotten us to this point where these rando streamers did just get a hold of one of the most pivotal music releases that will drop just because of the abomination that is impending from it all. And so now whether it was Drake who directly did this and messed it all up and it was his very choices or somebody that he sent a song to like a girl or something who ended up getting it to these streamers' hands, or maybe it was somebody else in OVO who had the song and did the wrong thing and now got caught up after showing it to the wrong person as well. I mean overall, and again, not to try and speculate too much, but to look at what the most definitive things that we can take from this are, what we are seeing is that despite every single thing that has happened, every single thing that has made him look worse, and every single thing that has looked bad against OVO, Drake has continued to have the most incompetent and least respecting of guys that are supposed to work for him and help him out in terms of the teams that are all around him in really all of the music industry, if we want to really be honest. As really, with so many people being this careless and selfish, that now maybe one of the biggest rap songs that could have possibly dropped in terms of the impact that it will have just based on the atrocity that Drake is about to do with these weird disses and of course with the entire album. I mean, now it's gotten into the hands of some weirdo troll streamers who are trying to use it to pump some other weird scheme. I mean, again, if the lifestyle that Drake prides himself on is resulting in this, which ultimately ends up being his entire work getting destroyed for nothing, well, I guess this is very on brand for Drake and this circle of people that he does love to be with, so I can't be too surprised. But still, with all of this, is we are now in a world where the Drake Iceman album is being held up by weird streamers that even adinross does not know. Well, there's no other way to put it. Drake's
Okay, adinross is not gonna know everybody, bro. Let's keep it a stack. I'm just trying to figure out how these kids got the leak or got the album. Because if this happens, he has to push the project back till next year. You got to push it back to next year, because if you're gonna still try to drop in October, it's not gonna be good. If I'm gonna be super honest, that means you have to scrap the whole Iceman stream, because now you got to work on a whole new concept and actually stick to the concept. All the songs that you've been previewing, scrapped. Like, those are throwaways. You gave it to the people. You know, those are one of ones. Let them deal with that. You know? The merch that you made, useless. Like, you literally have to start from the beginning all over again with your whole project. Just think about that. All that hard work, all that money spent has gone nowhere. So if this is true, the smartest thing you can do is to push the project back, make a new name for it. Don't call it Iceman, because it's not going to have any meaning anymore. Push it back till next year. Maybe like late winter, early spring, something like that. Because at this point, if this is really what's going on, it's GG's for the album.
Entire album and whatever he has been working on has now been effectively ruined in so many ways. And even for Drake, if this isn't part of the rollout, because that does literally change everything we have talked.
But the thing about what you said, Tiff, with there being a blackout, the problem is that as long as you postpone the album, Jalopy and them are just going to postpone the blackout. So no matter what you do, ain't nobody gonna, you know? Like, it's gotten to a point where a lot of people has had enough. So, it is what it is.
about here, if he did not actually want to leak it, which with the call with Adinross and even the optics of everything surrounding it, it does not seem like he set this up, and it really does seem like a real leak. What I will say is that for any rapper or artist, having your work come out without you wanting it, and especially with the intent to ruin what you were doing, this is bad no matter what and how you want to put it. And even for...
And yo, don't forget, Kendrick still has to drop. And part of me is starting to believe that Kendrick might drop next year, because I think the Clips are going to have their Grammy run. I think the Clips are going to have their Grammy run. Kendrick's probably going to drop next year with his album. So you got to think about that. The man's you're in a sticky situation right now. You're in a very sticky situation right now, and it's not looking good. Think about all the optics behind what is going on behind the scenes. All the people with the potential albums that are ready to come out. People just holding it off because if they really want to get an award for their album, for their project, they're probably not going to get it because there have been so many outstanding projects that came out. The Grammys this year is going to be heavy. I think Kendrick Lamar is going to drop next year. And it's going to be another surprise drop again. No rollout. Just randomly one day, boom. You know what I'm saying? I think that's what's going to happen. And now think about it. If Drake really going to push the album back till next year, look who you're going up against now. You're going to get crushed. Like, you're going to get crushed.
Or Drake, if you were trying to do this, or if you tried to ask me if you should do this if you could, I would say no, because I have too much respect for the art and craft of hip-hop to ever even engage in loser behaviors like this. But now what I will say...
I'm saying, let the Clips shine for real, Judy. Let the Clips have they win. Kendrick's done a lot already. We don't necessarily need that album. But y'all know me. I need bodies. Same with Quickie in the chat. I need the bodies track. Don't get it twisted. But if we can wait to see somebody else shine so that when he drops, we can get let the Clip shine, bruh. Let the Clip shine. But Drake needs to understand the position that he's in right now. Because he might get blocked out. He really might get blocked out. And I don't think anybody's even seen it that way yet.
Say with that said, is that now as Drake has leaked other people's music in the past, like Life of the Party with Andre 3000, all the way back during the CLB versus Donda era, and while OVO and his fans celebrated and could have even been responsible to some degree for leaking the Clips album Let God Sort 'Em Out right before it dropped to try and ruin the release of it, mess with the sales, and just take away from the moment. Well, with this, and at the very least, knowing that this fan base laughed and tried to humiliate Pusha T and Malice for having a leak happen to them, well, once again, as Push and Malice have shown us more than ever, well, within this moment, the words we say and the choices we make do have strong consequences, and while they tried to laugh at other rappers they did not like for having leaks, well, to glow the Clips once again, who really do have one of the most quotable hip-hop albums I have heard in years and years, so be it, because really, they have ran from the spirit of repossession too much. And well, the ball has bounced right back to Drake, and he really does now look like a leaking loser who really would let this happen to him, because for someone to not just disrespect the medium he creates in so much,
but beyond your biggest rivals, you don't even have the decency to protect your own art properly as you are sending it around, well, the same way you would mirror selfies, Cupcake Karen.
I mean, you can't be surprised why you were going out this sad and why the Iceman album has almost fully melted. Because of course for Drake, why doesn't this happen to Kendrick Lamar? Or why doesn't this happen to J. Cole? Or why doesn't this happen to Tyler, the Creator, or any other artist who really does stick to the music and moves as one of the highest level professionals that you can in the craft?
Yo, if Kendrick Lamar gets a Tony Award, bruh, I don't want to hear nobody say nothing about Not Like Us ever again or just anything Kendrick Lamar works on. Because just look at... Do you understand? Okay, think about it for a second. For all these awards to come to him, for GNX or Not Like Us, or the Super Bowl, do you not understand how much the world has been starving for a different sound from hip-hop? Just think about the music from from the pandemic up till 2023 or 2024, pre-beef. Think about all that music, all that waste of time. Do you understand how long people's been hungry for something else? Just think about that. The world has been hungry for different kinds of rap, but we've been pushed with the same thing over and over from the same artist. I knew something was up when I saw T-Pain scream at the top of his lungs saying, make something else. Y'all make the same music, but the different artists. Bro, come on, bro. If y'all have T-Pain screaming on his live stream, pay attention to that.
And you know why? It's because this is only the product of what happens when you are moving in massive studio sessions, which none of those guys do, or when you are spending more time trying to be a clout-chasing influencer who is hanging out with weirdo streamers rather than actually being a rapper. And so with this, as we are at a point where all of Drake's lame antics have caught up to him and he may have to cancel an entire body of work now, I don't know how else to say it, but it really does feel like this is what you get symbolically, because to really not just be a leaker of other rappers' music in the past, but again to also laugh at this happening to other people, this has just come full circle on Drake. But what's so weird about this, I will say, is that when we compare this to other things in the past, when Eminem's Encore leaked, or Nas's autobiography back in a time where they had to scrap or redo a large portion of an album or nearly the entire body of work when they were near the prime of their careers, and this was supposed to be a classic from all measures and from everything people knew at the time. I mean, while those rappers were mad because potential genre shifting and changing bodies of work were effectively ruined, for Drake, this couldn't be further than the truth, because while he is mad now, he is realizing that this is a good thing, because depending on how everything goes from here, no matter how he ends up failing next, he has an excuse that he can make to, at the very least, take more time than ever to make the Iceman album. And once again, when you realize that Drake has yet again just reset the shot clock, I do believe that we are at a point that is so low for the fall off of the Ice Spice Man that things are genuinely so awful now, where he can make a big mistake like this, which is terrible and ruined an album, but at the same time as it did that, it is giving him more time and excuses to dodge the responsibility of ever actually dropping it. And really for Drake, as we know who he is and how he moves, as he already has to know that his meltdown with Adinross went viral, and people are seeing how the Iceman record is leaking and how everybody feels about everything around it. If you don't think this guy is going to use that more and more to try and get whatever advantage he can, he will. And honestly now, while we can expect that Iceman will be canceled or pushed back very far based on where everything is going here, what I will say now is that really with the only thing left to try and indicate the future of the Iceman record being where the third single ends up performing, because that's all they have left, I do think that this very moment will tell us more than ever if Drake will use this as something that is so bad that he just had to scrap this record and push it back, or cancel it altogether. But once again, when you see Drake start whining about this and see this narrative get pushed to try and push whatever crazy conspiracy that the Drake stans keep trying to push to make him push his career further and further back before it actually ends up ending, just remember that this is a crock of lies, because really for Cupcake Karen, he is at a point where he knows this album.
Yeah, don't forget to hit that like button. I'm almost done here, so.
Album is gonna flop, and he is just trying to distract and run away from it however
See this right here?
he can, and that has never been.
This makes no sense. I'm sorry. This makes no sense. This makes 0 sense. 0 sense. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. Where are you going with this, man? This makes 0 sense. And wasn't there supposed to be 4? Wasn't there 4? So why is there 3 all of a sudden? Bro, I just don't understand this, man. Like, why can't you just give people something that we can enjoy somewhat? What is going on? You are a representation of the same city that you speak about in every destination that you go to. And look at the representation. That has me worried for the other artists that are working their asses off, man. Oh my God.
More obvious. And so now with all this said, let me know, What do you think about Drake now having to pretty much cancel the Iceman album and everything going on with this? And well, now, right now, if you made it to this point, I gotta let you know, channel memberships are live, and it really does help me out, so if you want to support the channel, I would totally appreciate it, and you do get a ton of great things, like getting your name featured in the end of these videos, and getting some exclusive stuff to comment with as well. And listen, now, once again, I have to just say, if you have been supporting and checking me out, thank you so much. It really does mean the world. And now, if you want to see how right before this, we just had another big moment in hip-hop history. It's from Drake dissing DeMar DeRozan in that weird snippet, to Drake sneak dissing a ton of other rappers and lying on Kendrick in a new doc on Magic City, to then Clips making hip-hop history by doing one of the most beautiful things I've ever seen. I mean, right now, we are in an amazing time in hip-hop, where now while Drake's albums are getting leaked, the best rappers are just winning. And if you want to see this more than ever, check out the suggested video.
What can I say? What can I say, man? And actually, I want to read some of these comments. Let me read some of these comments real quick before I head out. Where should I start from? Yeah, I seen what. First of all, Anthony, what's good? But like what Quickie said, ain't that some yogurt or something? I think Kendrick might hold off dropping to allow Clips to win a Grammy, but they're still going to be up against GNX. I hope he drops the Body song though, but Kendrick does what he wants. It's a fact. That is an absolute fact. What else we got? Vibrant. He's trying to make power moves instead of wisdom moves, but even power moves are weak and he has no true wisdom. Here's the thing though, I don't disagree. But I think what he's doing is that he's trying to make power moves based on the power that he knows. It's mainly about the power that he thinks he knows or understands, which is why he's assuming that this is the right thing for him to do in this moment, when in reality, this is literally the wrong thing to do in this moment. I don't care what is going on behind the scenes and how you're getting snaked from people behind the scenes, but what you need to focus on is providing music for the people to regain your fans so you can continue your dominance as the artist that you say you are. But instead, what you're doing is that this is like literal career, like this is a career ending. This is like an extinction level event that you are doing. You are trying to go extinct at this point. It is not good. But yeah, so it's very worrisome because it's gotten to a point where it's like more and more people, especially on TikTok of all places, people are speaking about the inconsistencies and the nonsense that they are seeing within the Iceman episodes. I've already pointed out enough inconsistencies. I don't want to say anymore, because it makes me look stupid at this point. Like, I feel bad as a Canadian because I'm like, bro, like you had one job and this is what you want to do? This is what you want to do? It's not a good look, man. I'm telling you. Like, I'm very worried because I know there's a lot of great talent here, but they're going to get overshadowed or they're going to get used by the industry, making them not want to be artists. Go ahead and be indie. You're probably not going to have enough money for promotion because with the economy here and how bad it is and how hard it is to get a job or get some money, bro, you might as well be signed. I've heard enough amazing songs that are not popping because of the lack of money that they have for marketing, and that's worrisome because I've heard some ish. You hear me? I've heard some ish. It's just got, like, I'm worried, bro, to be honest, because look at what our best is doing. That's not good. I say it all the time, whether you like it or not, you are in a position of leadership. Act as such, and you're not doing that. So, it's what it is at this point, you know? I just trying to see Toronto do great, and it's just like, they're not. And I'm just sitting here, I'm like, what do we do? Is what it is. What's good, Raven? How you feeling? Funny thing about Aiden asking to hear the album is, didn't he say he heard the album already during that weird stream with Drake when he got upset with him about Aiden's underwhelming reaction to it? Oh. See, this is why you not. See, this is why I love y'all, bro. This is why I love y'all. That is an amazing point. That is an amazing point. So what's good? But oh my God, wow. Man said it sounds like it's time for a coupe is crazy. But Raven, that is a wonderful point. He did say he already heard it. Now you're double back and saying, yo, I'm be so for real right now. I love that. I love the fact that you typed that shit out, bro. That's what I'm talking about, bruh. That's what I'm talking about. There are so many inconsistencies, so many lies being told. Like, what are you focused on more? Are you focused on promoting the chaos and attaching music to it? Or actually, are you more focused on the actual music? Because as far as I see it, you're more focused on creating chaos and then throwing music with the chaos. Bro, be so for real right now, bro. Look. What's good, Vina? Listen. The people don't forget. That's a fact. So, yeah. There's not much more I need to say for this. You know? Is what it is at this point. We're just going to have to see what happens in the next couple months.
I don't live in present tense. So just over a Daytona. Girl, my life been like a kid drama. Walking to...
Bye. Have a beautiful time.